Good morning, everyone. It's the Todd and Erin morning stream on GetParkDaily.com. Good morning. How are you? It's Friday. Finally Friday.
Yeah, I would like this week to be over and we can concentrate on just being happy all weekend and tipping the balance back to happy because it's been a rough week.
Take care of everybody. Have a nice weekend.
You know, interesting stuff coming up. Number one, archeologists have found the tomb of someone really, really big.
I didn't know about this. Can you tell me now?
No, I can't. And also becoming the kindest woman in prison. It's a stiff competition. I'm not kidding.
And there is something from Costco that you have to buy.
You have to.
I've never seen it before, and it's freaking awesome.
I'm drawn to everything at Costco.
And it's everything to do with prepping.
Ooh, so all the preppers right now are getting all tingly.
Yeah.
I would be a prepper if there were like not a lot of effort involved, because most of the preppers I see want to like build things out of like twine and
Let's
like
talk
PVC.
about it later.
Okay, I understand.
All right, so what's the story about
this one's-
systems of
Well, it's an infotainment system. If you think about it, if you take
entertainment?
infotainment systems,
I don't
these are
understand.
new in cars. Anything you've seen after 2017 in cars have these
Right.
huge arrays of stuff where
Right.
you can program your route. You can make a call to somebody. You can voice text. You can program to get Pandora. You can program to get
Right.
this or
Right,
that.
right,
And there's
right,
obviously the TV screen that comes down.
Right. Not for
Well,
you, for the people in the back.
Well, there's a new University of Utah study that was led by Professor David Strayer that found that the information systems that enable drivers to do all this stuff are basically killing you. He said, we're putting more and more technology in the car that does not mix with driving. Now, you think about it, distracted driving, they've already found out, is just as dangerous as drunk driving, all the other things. But so all of his researchers reviewed infotainment systems in 30 different 2017 vehicles.
Right.
And then they assessed the participants as they placed telephone calls, sent text messages, like tune radios, program navigation, all these things.
Right.
And it's cool because there's touchscreen interactive technology. You're thinking, oh, that would be great. Well, here's the thing. Programming navigation was determined to be the most distracting task, taking drivers on the average 40 seconds to complete. Now,
What do you mean? Complete what?
complete setting up the navigation.
Oh, okay.
Okay, here's the problem. A risk of a crash doubles.
Right.
It doubles when a driver takes his or her eyes off the road for 2 seconds. 2 seconds is enough to double your risk of a crash. So if you're taking your eye off the road for 40 seconds, tip-tapping in here.
Oh, yeah. Well, it's the same as
like-
texting.
Oh, I mean, it's worse.
Let me see how I do it.
And even researchers found that drivers using like voice-based and touchscreen technology still took their eyes and their hands off the road for 24 seconds to complete the task.
There's no way. I just did this yesterday. It's like this. Siri. I said, Siri, get directions to 4565 South, 350 East. And then I say, go.
That's more than 2 seconds.
I'm not looking at it. I'm driving.
It doesn't matter.
My phone's over here.
It doesn't matter. Your brain is still focused on it. Your brain
You
is still
can't
focused.
do that.
No,
Because
it's
what
true.
about when you have kids screaming in the back of the car?
We already learned about distracted driving. See, the trouble is, according to the U of U study, is that drivers assume, well, since the features are enabled in the car, that means they're safe to use. Like, it's perfectly okay that I take my eyes off the road for 40 seconds.
So is it your eyes off the road, or is it your brain off the road?
It's repetitive because it's a whole bunch of different things. There's things you can do that are voice activated, some things that are touch activated.
That's all I'll do is
But
the
the
voice.
point is their voice and touch is one thing, but you're also doing your brain to complete the task. So not only are you distracted by using different senses, you're also doing it by taking your attention off the road as well.
Here's something freaky. Some of the new Hondas, they sync with your phone, and when they do, the screen shows up on the car's screen, just like your phone, and it's all operational. You can slide, you can go, you can open up apps.
Oh, that's great. So that means everyone in the car can see all my stupid
It's like-
screensavers.
it was
That's
like this.
great.
It was like, hey, Netflix, that'd be great. Let's watch a movie.
Aromatherapy candle,
Yeah,
remember?
right.
Oh, well, so yeah, so basically they're saying this is a really bad idea.
Well, it's
because if
gonna
you're going
keep
between
going.
24 and 40 seconds and 2 seconds is all you need to double your risk, we're all going to be off I-15 within a matter of
You
weeks.
got to be hands-free. At least you have to have it.
But you have to remember what they're saying is, though, the attention, the focus on the task is just as distracting.
I'm not sure. I think we're more used to that kind of distraction, having kids in the back seat.
I think you would like to believe that we're smarter than we are.
Right.
For instance, there's one of the studies the U of U did recently is asking people, do you think you're an above average driver, an average driver, or below average? You know, are you more skilled than the average driver?
Right.
78% of the people that they interviewed said, oh, I'm above average in skills. I'm an incredibly skilled driver. Now, statistically,
Right.
we know that can't be correct.
Right.
So we are all dangerously overconfident in our ability to drive as it is.
There's a certain amount of people also think they're better drivers after having a drink.
Yeah, man, I can totally relax and like focus on the road. You're like, you can't. It's not that. No.
All right,
So you can see that's a little.
Well, we're
creepy.
going down a slippery slope because this is where we're all going.
What they're saying is it's a really bad idea. I mean, I think it would be interesting. You could have. How about if you had the infotainment systems, but there was like a governor on the car or something that you couldn't hit the accelerator till the task was finished.
But you can't. You can't limit the way the car can move for safety. It's a big
Sure,
deal.
you can. If you engage an infotainment system, that would mean that you cannot push the accelerator. That it locks or there's some kind of governor. They have them to govern speed. Why wouldn't there be one that you can govern speed down to zero?
But it's the car that's doing it.
But my point is that it's. You can still, if you have to have it, you can regulate it. You can't move again until you've finished your programming.
I don't know.
Anyway, that's the
All
UMU
I
study.
know
and
is I like to be able to go down
terrifying.
the street and say, Siri, text Erin. What would you like to say? Blah, blah, blah. Buck, 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 buck. Send.
Why do you always do the chicken noise?
Because it's my fill-in noise. And the message is sent to you, and I'm still driving, eyes on the road.
Yes, but your brain is still engaged on the phone.
Because I'm thinking of you.
Because you're clucking with like a chicken.
It happens.
All right, move on to tell me. This is like, we've been focusing on the heroes all week, everything we can through some of the disasters.
Helpers are everywhere.
Because it's what Mr. Rogers said, and I keep clinging to it every time something bad happens, where he says, look for the helpers. There are always more good people than bad. And so we've been trying to focus on who's been really making the difference this week with all these things that have been happening.
Jose Andres, he is.
Is he the chef you watch all the time?
I watch him all the time. He's on some of my favorite cooking, eating, travel shows. Look at him. And he is a taskmaster, man. This guy is like brutal, but he gets crap done.
Look at the size
So
of that dish.
He's down in Puerto Rico. This is one of like 13 cook stations.
Wow.
Yeah, they have done unbelievable things down there. He shows a lot on his Twitter feed. He says, big dreams. People have big needs. Spanish-American chef told the Twitter following. Let's see, this crew, nonprofit World Central Kitchen, will be giving away 45,000 meals, 10,000 sandwiches, 10,000 chickens with rice dishes, cooked up paella and cooked up at huge roadside kitchens that have been set up. Hot dogs and hamburgers too for the kids, whatever it takes. And so he's got a food supply line coming in, and he's turning it into food and he's turning it out. No refrigeration. You got to eat it all. Once you've broken it down,
There's no power.
You're eating it, and people are like, we can do that. We all line up.
Because I mean, there's no power. Everybody's food is spoiled.
Right.
There's no refrigeration. There's certainly no ice because they don't even have drinkable water.
Right.
So what this man is doing is incredible.
So they're running stuff, and they have runners to take the food out away from the kitchen, and other people come to it if they're able to. So anyway,
I
and
absolutely
it's so
love that
good.
man.
And oh man, he is like mean. I mean, mean
Really?
in a like a dad loves you mean kind of way, but with
tough love?
all his workers, he's like, let's go, and he's a little scary.
Wow.
But we know now that he's a wonderful man.
That is very cool.
It is.
All right, this is amazing. Archaeologists stumbled upon the most incredible discovery yesterday.
I love stories like this.
Now, certainly this part makes a certain amount of sense to me.
Yeah.
In Turkey, there's the St.Nicholas Church, beautifully elaborate.
St. Nicholas.
The St. Nicholas Church,
And
elaborate,
listen,
gorgeous church.
it is.
Well, they went under one of the stone sarcophagi, because it's not a sarcophagus, because there's more than one.
Oh, nice, like cacti.
And they went underneath it, and
Yeah.
they found the buried grave of the saint.
What saint?
He was St. Nicholas. So basically, essentially, if you think about it, they have
whoa,
found the grave of. What? What?
We have Daisy. She's from England.
We don't want her to.
Oh, hi.
Hi, honey.
Hi, I just heard you say my name.
Oh,
Yeah.
What's going on?
Talking about stuff.
Oh, I'm sure if I kneel down.
I
I heard my name.
We'll be
No,
like this.
we were talking.
Yeah.
What's going on?
Here, you can have a seat.
We
We were just talking
Yes.
about something and happened. Where did that? What country?
Turkey.
Turkey. It was
Turkey?
Turkey.
What happened in Turkey?
They discovered something in a womb.
Oh, it was.
Womb.
Oh, it was a womb.
They
Yeah.
might have misunderstood.
That was it. I was confused thinking it was
Right.
something else.
Right.
I thought it was a saint.
It was a baby.
It was a saint,
Oh,
but it's
They
not
found a baby in a womb and turkey.
that was what it was.
Like a
Amazing.
turkey womb.
Why did you say my name? They were going to call it Daisy.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
was they were gonna
Yeah.
the baby's
There you go. Okay.
just as innocent and as sweet as you
Have
and
a
as
good
Oh,
pure
that's
heart
lovely, guys.
and innocent. That we
Gosh,
don't
I
ever
thought
want to
maybe
destroy.
you were talking about something else.
No, the innocence we would never dream of destroying. It's,
Oh,
it's like
good.
that
Thanks for
with you.
dropping by.
Oh yeah, totally. I'll leave you guys.
Love you,
Okay.
sweetie.
That's so
Mwah.
cute.
Yeah.
What a lovely story.
Yes.
Oh, you made me feel so
Womb.
good, you guys.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Love
I almost feel like it's Christmas.
Yeah.
Okay, that's good.
Okay. Gosh, I can't believe someone just said that Santa Claus was dead.
They found the dried, desiccated corpse of Santa
so-
underneath a tomb at St. Nicholas Church in Turkey.
Where is this elf now? Wait, no, you have to I'm still kind
No,
of
I
curious.
can't now. Did you see your
Give
face?
it back to me.
Oh, I
wanna
can't
see
now.
it.
I see your face like that.
So they found his tomb and his body and everything? Was he wearing a red hat?
Well, they had the sarcophagi, but they dug underneath the elaborate tile maze underneath it, and then they found
Get closer to the microphone.
And then they actually found the hidden grave in a very elaborate coffin buried underneath the tiled stone floor underneath the sarcophagi.
And it's him.
Yeah, they think so. They've carbon dated, and they believe that that was the original founder of the church, the namesake of the church, St. Nicholas. And it was around the same era when the first legends of St. Nicholas came out.
So who's been carrying on the thing this whole time for the people in Turkey? And why in Turkey?
I don't know.
All right.
Just don't ever say anything out loud again. I can't picture Daisy's face.
Our Santa Claus is still okay though, right?
Oh yeah, we're fine.
We're good. Okay.
Just don't mess with Daisy.
Checking. Just break her heart.
I know, and she has that sweet face all
All
the
right.
time.
All right. What's going on
Okay.
with the law enforcement?
Now, this to me would seem like a fairly obvious job standard to maintain.
Mm-hmm.
But apparently, Salt Lake prosecutor Sim Gill
I like Sim Gill.
County city attorney has enough concern about it that he's actually changed this.
How's it going?
Police officers in Salt Lake County will now have to answer questions about their truthfulness, biases, and disciplinary history before taking the witness stand. Now, this has come because of District Attorney Sim Gill. He's lost patience because he's lost several relatively high-profile cases recently where it turned out that the police officers who were testifying
We're not telling
were
them.
determined to either have been lying or they have a background of not being truthful or having
Right.
bias in the focus of the
So-
case that was currently
So
happening.
he's
or-
frustrated with us.
yeah, I mean, and the fact that it's messed him up so much, they're saying we're gonna do a county protocol because you people are killing me. So that's actually really sad now that he has to do that. He says no one's ever asked about credibility issues before because it's the police. There's a standard that you're
Right.
held to as a police officer where the assumption is that you are upholding justice and are therefore truthful, which, by the way, I do believe that 99.99% of police officers do. And you do it for very poor money and for a lot of danger and hostility, and you are magnificent, and we thank you. But for the the 0.1% who screw with the rest of your reputations,
I hate that part.
he's like, you're losing cases for me for justifiable criminals that should be behind bars.
Because you know what we know? We know when one of your guys or women get out of line, we know you shake your head just like we do.
I'm sure it's even worse because you're like, thanks, because I have been working my whole life
Trying
in
to
my
make this
career
better?
trying to uphold my position, and you just screwed it up. So thank you so much for all of us. I'm sure, we know you guys feel that way, but it's sad enough that there's been enough high-profile cases now where he literally is going to start the questionnaire.
We have a great story coming up, which talks about second-year-old saving the world. What? It's coming up right after Daisy.
All right, she's in the Gephardt Daily Newsroom, and she is brought to you by Fink and McGregor. Mortgage is made simple. If you go to fink-mcgregor.com, you will find a plethora of mortgage options because at Fink and McGregor, they are a mortgage broker. They're not stuck with just one. Also, by Columbus Travel. Columbus Travel is having their epic October sale right now. This is the cruise sale where you can find screaming deals, and if you want to just go up and register for their weekly newsletter, it's emailed to you with incredible deals. You can do that at columbusvacations.com. And And also by All Utah Plumbing, Heating, and Air. This is the time of year something needs to be turned off or turned on, and fortunately, All Utah Plumbing, Heating, and Air will be there for you. You can just go to allutahplumbing.com. Daisy, my dear, what's going on today?
Thanks, Todd and Erin. Hello, everyone. Here's what's making news Friday, October 6th on GephartDaily.com. As the one-week anniversary of the Las Vegas shooting approaches Sunday, vigils are planned both in Nevada and across the country. In Vegas itself, there will be a vigil at the corner of Sahara and Las Vegas Boulevard at 6 p.m. Attendees are invited to bring flowers, candles, posters, or signs. A vigil was held at Southern Utah University Wednesday. Cedar City's Heather Alvarado was among those killed by Stephen Paddock, 64, of Mesquite, Nevada. The funeral for one of the top leaders of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, Elder Robert D. Hales, will be held this morning. Funeral services for Hales will be held at 11 a.m. at the Tabernacle on Temple Square. The funeral will be open to the public ages 8 and older. Hales, of the Quorum of the 12 Apostles, passed away Sunday surrounded by his wife and family. The 85-year-old died from causes incident to age. And Salt Lake City has a new holiday to celebrate Monday. The council has unanimously adopted a resolution declaring the day Indigenous Peoples Day. While acknowledging the fact that the day is also Columbus Day, the resolution states, "We would like our residents and businesses to celebrate and continue to learn about the contributions today of Native Americans to our society and their history." Indigenous Peoples Day in Salt Lake City won't replace Columbus Day, which is a federal holiday embraced by many. And now to our Wasatch Front weather, where temperatures this weekend will be positively balmy, with Saturday hitting 72 degrees. Sunday will drop to the low 60s, and Monday to the high 50s. Overnight lows will be in the 40s. That's it for now. For more local headlines 24/7, go to GephartDaily.com. Todd and Erin, back to you.
All right,
Daisy.
thank you, Daisy. Thank you, Daisy. All Utah Plumbing, Heating, and Air. What is going on with these guys? Well, first of all, they're incredibly busy right now, but not too busy for you. What are they doing? They're turning off things. They're turning on things. Outdoor faucets. They're going to take... Matter of fact, you know what? They could come through and do a walkthrough in your house and take care of all the stuff at once. Get your furnace tuned up. We're going to show you some stuff that we went out and filmed as far as all the stuff they go through, and they're doing it for $69, and they're going to go through your entire furnace. I mean... They clean it with spray cleaner. They get inside. They have machines. They have gadgets. They're going to make it safe for you. Plus, you know, it's going to extend the life of your furnace, and it's going to make it work more efficiently, and your bills will be lower. Why not take care of it? It's an expensive piece of work. In your house, just give them a call at All Utah Plumbing, Heating, and Air.
All right, tell me something good. I've been dying to hear about this because it always kills me when kids who are like 5, 6, 7, 8 come up with these epic ideas that basically change the social fabric of their community.
All right, so think about what you did in second grade. Think about if your kids are in first. So think about her sensibilities. Mm-hmm. And I could see this working, but still, it's an amazing story. All right, so Amia is in second grade. She's second grade, and she decided she was looking around and in Idaho, and she saw that there were a lot of kids who didn't eat lunch at her place.
Well, the Coeur d'Alene Public School District, and that's not inhumane. Well, actually, maybe a little bit. If people can't pay for the kids' school lunch,
Right.
they'll go to a point where they give them a hamburger bun bear or a hot dog bun bear,
Right.
and water, and that's what they get until their parents can pay up the debt.
All right, so here's the deal.
So number one, you can always tell the kids at school who are not getting their debts paid because they're eating a bear hamburger bun.
Right.
And also they're not getting good nutrition.
So what did she do as a second grader? She said, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to do lemonades for lunches. She started a lemonade stand.
She wanted to pay down their lunch debts so that the kids could eat a full school lunch again. Look at her little sweet face.
Last week she made $40. And she put that towards the school to pay down those things so more kids could eat. She learned this thing from a much bigger project that's going on. She has a goal now of $23,000 because she saw another gentleman raise $50,000 against the lunch debt. with lemonade for lunches.
All right, so she's already started her GoFundMe campaign now, so she's going to be taking her lemonade around the district so that she can raise money there, but she's also doing it on a broader crowdfunding scale as well.
And her mom and her dad are out with a truck, and it's called Margaritas for Meals.
I would totally be down with that.
So
It would be like the ice cream truck coming around the neighborhood, but with margaritas.
Be great.
I could totally get behind
So isn't that a great story? I told you it was something
The
good.
sweet little face of all things to think about, knowing that there were other kids that weren't getting a good meal, and so she wanted to pay down their debt.
My incredibly story about Costco coming up and how they can make you survive for 365 days.
All right, but first we will tell you how Christopher's is going to give you an epic night you will never forget. You will never eat this well again. At Christopher's Prime Steakhouse, if you've been there, you already know how decadent they are, and if you haven't, we're going to send you so you can find out for yourself. It's our big thank you for sticking with us here on the morning stream. So all you have to do is comment on Facebook today. Well, as you're listening to the show, we're talking about Christopher's now. So if you comment now, we'll see that you were listening and commented. And then we will pick a winner. By the way, the winner for this week is Scott and Amy J. Congratulations, Scott and Amy J. We're so happy for you. Enjoy your dinner.
You're so lucky.
You can totally take us if you want,
want
because
to.
no one's ever invited
We're
us in
right
6
here.
months. No one's ever said, "Hey, Todd and Erin, you want?"
Hanging out with you.
So anyway, you can do that. You can enter to win on our Facebook pages. That would be Gephardt Daily, Gephardt Approved, or the Todd and Erin Facebook page.
All
So
right.
thank you again.
Thank you very much. Kindest Woman in Prison. That story next.
Todd and Erin's Morning Stream, brought to you by Black Diamond Experts. Electric, plumbing, heating, and air conditioning. You'll be glad you called an expert. Fink and McGregor, mortgages made simple. Make sure you go to fink-mcgregor.com and try out their 4-minute mortgage program. It's incredibly easy to find out whether you qualify. The Todd and Erin Morning Stream is actually available anytime at GephardtDaily.com. Just click on the Todd and Erin page.
Did you know you can buy a house with a 600 credit score?
Really?
We have lenders, we have programs, stuff that's come up in the last couple years. 600.
Wouldn't you have to have like 50% down or something though?
Nope. 3.5%.
Where would you start the process on this?
Well, Fink and McGregor has a website, 4minutemortgage.com. Just go there, fill it out, up and running.
How long until you get back to us?
1 business day. Whole thing takes about a month, start to finish.
Where do you get the down though if you're broke?
It can be a gift from family, relative, significant other, even your work.
Gift, huh?
Yeah.
You know what that makes me wish?
What?
Makes me wish I had friends with money.
So on the morning stream picture, was that poison ivy?
Yeah, it could be.
Kinda looked like it.
This is my favorite. This is my favorite part of the show. Look at, see? No, it's not.
Are you sure? Leaves
No.
are 3, leave them be?
Three shiny, darker leaves than that.
Okay. All right, the Compassion Games International. Have you ever heard about this?
Where? What?
This is freaking genius. There is a fierce competition to become the kindest woman in prison. Now, this started with the California Penal Institute.
I don't remember this.
And it goes for the correctional institution for women all across the state.
What is it?
And it was one of the reverends who volunteers there a lot. She went, what if we could do something where women could step outside of their identities and do good deeds without being mocked and ridiculed? Because there's a big, obviously,
In prison.
there's obviously a big gang culture.
Right.
And being kind would often be something, an object of ridicule
Okay,
or mocking.
all right.
And so what they were doing is they're like, well, yeah, but you can be making points and you could be building towards being the kindest person who gets all kinds of different rewards. And they're
Right.
saying this is a good way to do it so that they're allowed to participate.
Okay.
And so they tallied just
So is
in
it kind
California.
of giving them an excuse?
Literally.
To be nice.
It's the 2017 Compassion Games. They tallied 4,500 acts of kindness that included sharing food with each other, clearing each other's living spaces, helping to apply sunscreen before going outside. You know, in some of the facilities, the temperatures went up to like 108 degrees during that week. And they were all trained to help each other, like, here, you need to drink water. You're getting I can tell
Watching
you're getting
each-
dizzy. You know,
watching each
and
other.
literally taking care of each other. So during the 11 days of the event, and this is the entire state, correctional institution, they said the kindness was so contagious there was not a single violent incident recorded.
Wow.
statewide for the entire correctional institution for women. And so, and it's really cool. It was done by 4 different nonprofits that work inside of it, like they're in dog training and sewing programs.
Right. I've
And
seen
so,
these.
and it was really sweet. They did sewing and knitting on what they called overdrive, where they were making like blankets and stuff for
Right.
hospitals for babies, and they were sewing quilts and different things
But
for homeless shelters.
both men and women in different facilities do this.
And they created whimsical hats for critically and terminally ill kids, hospitalized veterans, and what they call this, and it's beautiful, they say with every stitch, the inmates were practicing living amends for what they had done by giving back to society.
Right.
And so it was incredible. So they had the final day of compassion, and then of course they picked the most compassionate woman who managed to do the most stuff. But it's been so successful. They're trying to start doing this
Right, on regular.
in every correctional institution across the country.
Right.
And I mean, if you can start with women, it seems to me that's an easier shot perhaps than the male population. But you know what? It's not like men are not as equally capable of compassion and kindness. But I love the concept of that. Tell me that's like the smartest thing ever.
That's pretty cool.
And they've created a quick start guide if that's something that other correctional facilities want to try.
Oh, that's nice. Made a difference,
Fierce
though, did it?
competition to be the
Yeah.
kindest woman in prison. I love the concept of that.
All right. I'm going to let you know that as far as preparations go, I'm sort of up there, except for food. Like I have supplies and I have tools.
Are you kidding? We'd be the only people in the zombie apocalypse watching TV and doing our nails because you would have made it somehow happen with like some
got-
tin foil and chewing gum. I know you.
Wrapped around a machete and got canned sardines. So I'm basically set. But this is interesting, the 72-hour kits and stuff like that. So I think it's a great idea, and you get one for each kid, and you slide it under, some place where you can get to it, which is a great idea.
Yeah.
72 hours. Yeah. Screw that. Costco's got a better idea.
Costco always goes big. Always.
This is a food kit for 365 days.
Now that's 6,200 servings of food,
This is for one person.
including wheat, rice, milk, granola, fruits, vegetables,
Right,
and meats,
right,
salt,
right,
sugar
right.
for flavor.
Lasts for 25
It's
years.
a starter kit, and
over.
it lasts for 25 years.
So it takes the pressure from the church off telling you got to get ready. You go, I'm done. I'm done for a year. 72 hours. I don't think so, mister.
Isn't that amazing?
So we get one for you and me, and then we have a lottery for one of the kids. So we got like $3,000. That's a lot, But you do that, and if you have 6, you can have them fight it out in the octagon. See who gets the food for a year, which is great. You could split it up like among 4 kids. You take the 1 year and give each kid a certain amount of time. But then the others would be whining when it wasn't their turn, and so really it's just a matter of like all or nothing. Think of it though. A year
I'm
of
not
food.
sure I want to be in the same house with you during the zombie apocalypse now. I really don't. I don't want to. And as a matter of fact, if we kicked you out of the house, then we would still have the 3 years
Yeah.
for the 3 of us. And
Yeah.
you could be out there with your handy machete because you're so good out in the wild anyway. It'd be fine.
Of course, someone does
But
have
we're
to.
weaker and softer, so we need to stay inside and protected.
Yeah, but you don't know how to cook.
So we'll be old enough by then.
But I think the concept is.
Isn't that genius?
Can we see the picture again? Because the picture, can you imagine this is like, do you have any food storage? And it's like, matter of fact, yeah.
Wow,
Matter of
look at
fact, I
that.
do. And it's got water and everything.
That's pretty amazing. I mean, it really is.
That is amazing. Now, the company that does this, because they're obviously, Costco doesn't put it together, but they have a company, but they won't say how many they have sold.
Well, I know that they started the run here in the Utah stores, and I think we were one of the first test runs because they know that we're all about the prepper stuff here.
But not the full year ones, right?
Yeah, they
oh,
did.
Oh, really?
And so they actually started that system here early, and they said the sales were insane. We spoke to the Costco that's one down on 3rd West that's like the biggest in the state. They said it was nuts. Because that's us. I mean, that's our thing here.
It's kind of a pessimistic attitude to think that you're going to have to need 365 days of meals.
Well, but think about it, though. It's not even necessarily for the zombie apocalypse, although secretly I am rooting for the zombie apocalypse, which says a lot about me, I know. But it also could be for a myriad of different things that maybe your family's out of work. Maybe the economy collapses and you can't find work and you're hungry. I mean, there's a myriad of different reasons. It's not necessarily because of the zombie
Right.
apocalypse. I'm just hoping that will be the one I'll utilize the food
Right,
for.
right.
But it could be for anything. I mean, imagine the security you have going, okay, crap, we've lost our jobs, but we can still feed the kids.
See, here's the other thing. If you look at
MRIs.
yeah,
MREs.
MREs, and you've ever had some of those, and back when you were a kid, they're horrible. It's like cardboard with squeezed mouse on it. It was just I don't know where that came from.
It's a
I
little
don't know.
tube of mouse.
So
Put that on the toast and spread it,
that was
kids.
supposed to be mousse, salmon mousse. So anyway, and they were horrible. They're just horrible, and it's just like you just ate them, choked them down. It was like it's over. And now, if you go down to like the survival places and the prepper places, it's like they have like chocolate drizzled coconut cake. And I'm thinking, if the world's ending, is that really? You know, you're sitting there having your coconut bar cake.
You got something to look
Yeah.
forward to because the zombie apocalypse is here and they're going to eat you.
And then
So you
you're-
can eat something delicious first.
You're eating it and your ear falls off, and
You know,
it's like beef stew.
one of our problems though with doing the food prep thing is that I went down to a couple of things because we were doing like remotes and ad libs for them, you know, endorsements, and so I went down and they had. Don't you remember they had the freeze-dried apple snacks and the coconut
Right.
snacks?
Right.
And they were so delicious that we ate like 3 tubs of them like in a week and a half, and we're like, maybe we're not
There's
cut
no
out
survival.
because they were really good. They were crunchy and delicious.
Then it comes down to the for those who don't plan being a grasshopper, basically you have weapons and you take your neighbor's food. So anyway,
See, it all works out.
this actual secret is to make jam.
Because everyone's got wheat, so they can make bread.
Everyone's got bread. Who's got the jam? You do. All right. So I think I want to go look at it.
I know. I want to go too.
I'm gonna go look at
excited.
it.
All right. You have super helpful marriage advice?
I do. Not that we need any help.
No. But this is cool. This is like advice, especially for young families, maybe, who have kids and they're just
This is the
struggling to
advice.
find their equilibrium.
Yes, this is married couple parenting kids.
A fine balance.
All right, so
No, there's no balance.
there's
It's all
you.
about the kids,
They're
let's be
like,
honest.
hi, how are you? And then there's over here, it's like, hey, get out of here, like that. Okay, so never neglect your identity as a couple.
Oh, that's great. And when do we squeeze that in?
Well, evidently, after you've thrown yourself into the role of parenting, you must stop and take a chance to remember pre-children. Like, when you had money and you had
And
sleep
time.
and you weren't covered with glitter, except on special occasions. Maybe you weren't wearing pants one day and it was okay.
Oh, gosh.
So, you're in the parenting mode. You got to stop and go. Oh, wait a minute. We gotta remember to have We had a date last night, you and I.
I know. I had explained it to Zoe. She goes, "What is a date?"
This is a date, Mom
And I said,
I.
"It's a 4-letter word.
Right.
Date. Where we go out alone." She goes, "I don't understand what that is." I went,
Why?
I know.
Why can't I go? Let's go to Noodles and Company. She says.
I know. I'm like, I know you don't understand, honey. That's because we don't have any of those.
Then we go out. We figure out what our names are, and we can call ourselves by the correct name as opposed to "Hey, you."
There is a logical thing to that, though. I mean, basically, the only ever couple time we had is when we went to like radio show conventions, and it would take like by day 2, you'd be walking there holding hands, going, "Oh, that's right, I fell in love with you for some reason other than our offspring."
What's your name?
Yeah.
Right.
But let's be honest. Traditionally, how many of us get me time every week when you have children?
Erin has it when she goes and hides in the bathroom and reads her tablet.
That's only because I don't have my walk-in closet anymore. What's number 2? It's going so super good right now.
Well, it also says to make sure you give time and separate it from your offspring. Separate yourselves. Like I'm thinking the teen years. Just separate yourselves until they're 21.
Put them in the shed. Yeah.
Put them out onto the stoop.
Number 2.
Between date nights, do a 20-minute connection.
Go on. Sorry. No, I won't laugh anymore. Keep going.
So you're getting the kids, and you're getting the kids to bed and stuff, and make sure everybody's showered and unsmelled up, and then you put them into bed, and then you just connect like this.
I see you.
You scare me.
I see you.
You scare me.
Listen,
And
okay,
then-
how long does it usually take us after we've done all of those things and cleaned the kitchen and got the kids into bed and done all the show prep? I think about 32 seconds before one of us is unconscious.
Well, you are going to blast to your computer and do your stuff there. And to actually stand there 20 minutes, this is what it would look like. Let's say that you are the computer and this is me. Turn this way and look at me. And we're connecting right now. It'd be like this. No, you're connecting with me. You're me. Okay, I'm you. That's your computer. It'd be just normal. It'd be like this. It'd be like this. No, really, I think this is good. No, I think, yeah, no, I love you too. I think, yeah, no, oh yeah, no. I love you so much. What? Who's that text from? Oh, it's Nina. Oh yeah, cool. Oh, all right. Okay, I think that's good. Let's go. That's how it'd be. For me, I just go and fall asleep. Because that's my special skill.
I have to run 3 different social media platforms.
You don't have to.
Oh yeah, we could be
Share
unemployed.
household chores. How am I doing on chores?
You make the bed. You make the bed now. He makes the bed.
You know why?
He makes Zoe's bed, which is
Yeah.
sort of cheating because she's supposed to do it, but you don't want to have the discord and the disharmony.
From her.
No, it's been wonderful.
Look your best, it says here. When you're hurting your young children, it's easy to spend the day in sweatpants. That's kind of the goal, isn't it?
Don't you remember that one day when McLean threw up down my back and it literally took me an hour and a half to figure out what that smell was?
Yeah. It just blended in.
And then there was that one time I went to a meeting at the general manager's office and I found out later I had a stucker suck to my jacket.
Back it away and reverse that and say it again.
I said, I went
That
to a
is-
meeting in my general manager's office.
And you had a...
And Todd was looking at the back of my business
And you
jacket,
had
and I
a-
had a sucker stuck right
That's
here.
the way she meant to say it the first time.
What did I say?
She backed around and did it backwards like I do.
A stucker? Okay.
Yes.
A stucker sucker.
So you're supposed to wear reasonable, good-looking shoes, it says here.
Oh, you don't need to wear a designer label outfit, but wear clean, well-cut, and flattering clothes. Yeah.
For what?
Have you seen baby weight? You tell me what's flattering with baby weight.
All right.
And for dads, I'm not judging you if you wear the same pair of lounge pants for 6 days, because it's not like I had the time to do the laundry.
Or you're going to get that close to them anyway. And the last one is let your kids see you have affection and express love to each other. Which they usually go, Mom!
Anytime we try to hug, one of the kids freaks out and goes, "Ah."
No, that is important, though.
Well, I think we do that.
I do, too.
We do.
I do, too.
It's just the other things that maybe you have more we time than we do, but
Let's talk
I don't think anyone really does.
Let's talk about the pirate dude.
This is epic. Captain Jack Sparrow just robbed
Knoxville, Tennessee. A man arrested. He was a burglar. He was in the house. He was dressed like... Well, here he is. He is looking like Captain Jack.
Oh, I love him. Look at that face.
Wow.
He's got the little beard bits.
It's like he's like
And he's
Captain
wearing
Jack.
eyeliner. He's wearing
got the
badly
eyeliner.
applied eyeliner like Captain
Right.
Jack,
He
right?
looks like Captain Jack, sort of.
That's adorable.
Yeah. So basically, he was taken to jail, wearing a black pirate hat, a black vest, brown jacket, and red gloves.
Well, at least he was like doing method.
He was looking for somebody else's booty. Arg. Going for their treasure.
I would just pay money to have a mugshot like that because that's something I would
Can I look at it again? Because it's like,
that was...
it's always, you're always surprised that he's in jail.
It's like the crazy eyes. It's the crazy eyes I like the best.
Yeah.
Yeah. And dressed in full pirate regalia. That's it's cool.
All right, so we need to talk
Columbus
traveling.
travel.
You were mentioning travel earlier in the show, and you want to go on a trip.
Well, no, I was after talking to Larry Gelwick, the getaway guru. He was mentioning though there was that one. There was this resort down in Cozumel where I've always wanted to go scuba diving anyway, and it was that big fancy resort he was telling about that was all inclusive, and it's like everything. So it's airfare and even driving you back and forth from the airport and like tips and all the food and drinks
that's
and
one of the
stuff.
big things is the fact that, and he said this. He goes, go online, do some research, find out what you want, then come to us, because it's like he's the one who can take care of things that you weren't even offered before. If there's some free excursions you can go on. If they do it so all your drinks are free, all your
like
meals
the
are free.
cruises especially are craziness.
He's actually got one setup that you can get off the plane in Mexico and not have a credit card on you.
And that's the
Because
what I want to do.
Everything is taken care of. Tips are taken care of. Transport to the hotel, taken care of. Everything.
Zach and Zoe have never been down to Mexico, and I just thought that would be a really cool, fun thing. But the thing is, the price was like ridiculously good.
And if you want to find out more about them, just go to...
It's very, very simple. Just go to ColumbusVacations.com. If you go to ColumbusVacations.com, you can also sign up for their weekly newsletter that has all these flash last-minute deals. But seriously, you cannot get a combination of anything better than you can get it with them.
All right, coming up later in the show, we're going to push Erin off a 4-story building.
And they did.
It's kind of a dream come true for me.
Yeah, they did.
But and we'll talk about more. We're going to talk about criminals who go back to their roots. Isn't that right?
Yeah, you do what you know, and this guy did.
Coming up next.
We're brought to you this morning by Executive Transportation. Elegant service, professional style. Go to executiveutah.com. And All Utah Plumbing. Your home deserves the best. 24-hour emergency service at allutahplumbing.com. Did you know you can catch the Todd and Erin morning stream any time of the day or night on Facebook, YouTube, and SoundCloud, and GephardtDaily.com?
Don't forget about the free corn maze.
I still think that's poison ivy.
It's not poison ivy.
It looked like leaves of 3.
It's not poison ivy.
Fine, whatever. Okay, you got to
See?
respect.
That's not poison ivy.
It looks like the 3-leaf combination, though.
No, it's not. It's not poison ivy.
Yeah, but if Richard was walking through it getting that shot, I want to see his legs.
It's not poison ivy.
All right, whatever. All right, you got to respect a man who goes back to his roots, a man who does what he knows.
That's cool.
If you've got experience in a certain thing and it was working relatively well for you, why would you try it again,
why,
right?
Why reinvent the wheel?
Well, Gary Fornina was booked back into state prison for a parole violation. See, the reason he went to the prison in the first place is because he defrauded investors, senior investors, in retirement programs.
That is horrible.
So, as we all know, that seems like the sleaziest possible thing you can do is to steal someone's retirement from them that they've worked their whole life for.
So he went to prison for that.
He went to prison for it. So he came back out and he was reporting to his parole officer, and things looked kind of normal until he noticed that he was the president of something called the My Senior Media Expo, where they were doing an expo for seniors that talked about investment opportunities and financial planning.
Yeah, that raises a red flag or two.
Yeah. And it's interesting because the reason it got brought to their attention is the booths were selling for like $3,000 each, and he had all of these exciting, workshops planned that he would be heading up for investment opportunities.
Right.
And it was going to be held up at Utah's Hogle Zoo.
Oh, it's here.
And so the parole officer checked and went, is this happening? They went, well, no, he actually canceled just a couple of days ago. And they said, I think he rescheduled for the aquarium. So the parole officer calls the aquarium, the Living Planet Aquarium, said, he called us, but we thought it sounded sketchy, so we said no.
Right.
And then they found all these posters that said, yeah, it's going to be the Living Planet Aquarium, and there's free bus service from here, and all of your admission will be free to the Living Planet Aquarium. They're like, well, no, because you're...
And so what did he do?
And so basically, he kept all of the money he had raised so far.
Well, then that's good.
So there's tens of thousands of dollars, and then they, of course, went through some of his seminars, and it was information identical to what he had used before he went to prison before. So
where is he now?
He's back in jail for parole violation.
Done deal.
But at least he went with what he knew. Defrauding seniors is my thing. I'm good at it. I know how to defraud seniors of their money. I'll just go with it.
Nicely done. All right, Daisy's here. She's got some national news for us.
All right. Of course, she is brought to you, and she's in the Gephardt Daily Newsroom, brought to you by Fink and McGregor. Fink and McGregor is mortgages made simple. Just go to fink-mcgregor.com for all your options. And also by Black Diamond Experts. They are experts in electric, plumbing, heating, and air. Brand new shop now in Ogden, by the way. And you can reach them at blackdiamondexpert.com. Daisy, my dear, what's going on right now?
Good morning, Todd and Erin. Hello again, everyone. Here's the look at national and world news for Friday, October the 6th on GebhardtDaily.com. Brazilian police on Thursday arrested the president of the country's Olympic Committee as part of an investigation into a purported conspiracy to land last year's Summer Olympic Games in Rio de Janeiro. Carlos A. Newsman has been under investigation as part of a probe into bribery allegations that surfaced after Brazil landed the 2016 Games. The corruption investigation is known as Operation Unfair Play. Newsman is suspected of bribing international Olympic officials in exchange for votes to secure the 2016 Games. Online retail giant Amazon is experimenting with completing its own product deliveries, going outside its longtime partnerships with UPS and FedEx. The system, being called SellerFlex, enables Amazon-partnered companies to house their own goods, with Amazon completing shipping when an order comes in. By utilizing its partners to store items, it would ease the bottlenecks that have at times plagued Amazon, particularly during the peak holiday shopping season. And all 5 living former presidents will headline a concert on the campus of Texas A&M University this month to raise money for hurricane relief. The concert, which is being organized by former President George H.W. Bush's Presidential Library and Foundation, was first planned to benefit victims of Hurricane Harvey. Since then, it's grown to include victims of Hurricane Irma in Florida and Hurricane Maria, which devastated Puerto Rico and the U.S. Virgin Islands. Former Presidents Jimmy Carter, the elder Bush, Bill Clinton, George W. Bush, and Barack Obama will all be in attendance at the October 21st event. The event is called the One America Appeal. There's no word yet on whether President Donald Trump has been invited or plans to attend. That's it for now. For more headlines from across the country and around the world, go to GebhardtDaily.com. For now, Todd and Erin, back to you.
All right, so Black Diamond. I was interested.
Oh, thanks, Stacy, by the way.
Oh, thank you, honey.
Thank you.
Checking in with them about their new Ogden shop. They already said that they had like a bazillion calls and they were kind of excited and they were hiring new technicians because everyone was thrilled they were there. And I was thinking about the 24-hour service thing because we were running out taking a breath yesterday morning. It was about 7:30. And one of the Black Diamond trucks was actually pulling into the parking lot and going to one of the offices across the way. And I went, hi, and he goes, yeah, leak or something. But 7:30 in the morning, the guy's still out at a business place getting something fixed before they start for the day. So that's what I mean about 24-hour service. Those guys are always out there. They're prepared for you. They're licensed, bonded, insured, and they are there for you. So if you want to try this out, these are the guys that we count on, and you can too. Just go to blackdiamondexpert.com, and remember, once again, 24-hour service, and I have living proof. I just saw the truck yesterday. What?
So I want to talk to you about North Carolina. A lot of stories come out of North Carolina.
I love North Carolina.
I do too.
Yes.
There's a certain population there who lives there that's just not that bright. See, there's a gentleman. He said his name is Douglas. Douglas was going to court.
No, it's Tian Shema Lashane Douglas.
Okay.
You got to use all the names.
So how do you get that many names?
You know moms. They like a lot.
All right.
Tian Shema Lashane Douglas.
So he got caught with marijuana, and he had to do probation, and he goes to the courthouse to go check on probation and do his thing, and it was great, except for the fact that there was a sheriff in his car out front of the courthouse, and when he got there, he
Tian Shema Lashane Douglas stood and looked at the courthouse and the metal detector and the guards inside and went,
put his hand down in his pocket like this, and he took out his pot, and he took out his cell phone, and he took out his pipe, and he took out some money and put it and bundled it like this, and then he stuck it in the weeds in the garden right in front of the courthouse, and they went inside. And so he went, and he gave
Technically, he wasn't carrying in front of the judge.
He did the paperwork that he needed to. I've applied for these jobs. This is my schedule. This is where I'm living, all that stuff. Here you go. And they went, good job. What's his name?
It is Tian Shema Lashane
Tian,
Douglas.
good job. All right, thank you very much. We'll see you next month. All right, bye. He walks out and they arrest him. Violation of parole. Intent to distribute.
At least he remembered to try to hide it before he went in. Oh, look, he's kind of dressed up too.
He is.
This reminds me a lot of, like, because we talk about the drug culture sometimes, but it reminds me of that one guy you told me about who actually attempted to bond out a friend, bail out a friend.
With
Cocaine. Was it cocaine? Yeah.
Yeah.
Because that was a monetary
that
value
was his
for them.
life. Yeah.
And I'm sure the police officer went,
What?
and he went,
What are
yeah,
you
it might be a
doing?
little light. Just try it on the ground, though, I think.
Yeah, I didn't cut it or step on it at all. It's fine. It's good. Coming up next, these stories are coming out of everywhere about yearbooks and dances and stuff like that, right? In high school?
There's this weird, and believe me, I know that there's a lot of modesty things with girls that we would like to work with, but sometimes they get really weird and unnaturally interested in a young female's chastity and virtue when it doesn't seem to extend to the men. We'll tell you about it next.
We're brought to you this morning by Executive Transportation. Elegant service, professional style. Go to executiveutah.com. And All Utah Plumbing. Your home deserves the best. 24-hour emergency service at allutahplumbing.com. Did you know you can catch the Todd and Erin morning stream any time of the day or night on Facebook, YouTube, and SoundCloud, and GephardtDaily.com?
All right, so I want to know yearbook. These have to do with yearbook pictures.
Yeah, it's really frustrating because everyone now does their senior picture, and before we all just threw on like this velvet drape and we sat there and took our picture. Now they do like out in fields looking pensive or holding flowers or kittens or anyway. But there was a very cute one with Eleanor, and she was out actually in a field and she was holding some daisies, and she's wearing a little tan shirt, and then underneath you can see like a little bit of her white bra singlet, the liner underneath.
Right.
Well, apparently, when she turned in her senior picture for the yearbook, they told her that it was inappropriate and that she was not properly dressed.
Her singlet is showing.
Now, here's the thing that's so interesting about it. If you take a look at it, she also juxtaposed it with a picture of the men's swim team going, my bralette was too inappropriate, but yet here's a picture of the boys swim team at school. So it seems
okay. So so that's
it seems a little like vaguely ironic,
and that's the yearbook picture.
Yeah. So a lot of people were talking about it, saying that seems really lame, and I don't get it. And she was very sweet. She says it really wasn't about the guys. I'm just saying they were showing a lot of skin, and yet my bralette is really badly considered for a picture. Yeah. Well, here's one that actually got a little bit better, and it was pretty funny. Camry Lane said, I wasn't allowed to take my senior wrestling picture in my singlet like my teammates because I'm a girl. So they all got to take their pictures in their little adorable onesies, and they made her put on this big, like, all-encompassing sweatsuit.
Oh, that's not right.
It's like, really?
Little tip for you guys out there, if you're thinking about wrestling team and you like girls, it's not going to happen. It's just not going to happen.
You're spending a lot of time wedged under another guy's sweaty armpit.
Yeah. It's just not a big ooh for a lot of women.
But I really love this girl, Camry. The fact that she was boss enough to actually get on a wrestling team in high school. She's got to be a pretty tough kid.
She is tough.
But she's apparently not allowed to wear a onesie like the boys are.
I didn't even know what a bralette was. Now I do.
See?
I feel smarter.
Well, no, but there's a bra and then there's a bralette, which is basically, it's like a liner you cover over to make sure.
This is a family show, okay? God.
If you think about it, she actually is being more modest by having the bralette.
Why do you hate Taylor Swift so much?
I don't like her.
Why?
Well, number one, she broke up with my internet boyfriend, Tom Hiddleston, and then totally dissed him and intimated that he was gay. And it was like, honey, just because he didn't like you doesn't mean
okay, enough with your personal life.
He can be gay if he wants to, but it's not because he didn't like you. It's just because he didn't like you.
All right, so what
she
did she
totally
done?
trashed him. But she is epic in many, many ways. And one of the things that she has tried to push recently after breaking with all these guys is like, okay, I'm going back to girl power. So she does a lot of pictures with the girls and hangs out a lot with a lot of the other singers. But I didn't know she did this. Kesha, if you've been following along with this, Kesha was hugely popular for quite a while.
Oh, yeah.
She's just added a brand new article in Rolling Stone, and she was talking about her past, and basically the producer who was 30, 40 years older than her that was basically micromanaging her career was also demanding sexual favors from her. So, and she started when she was 17 years old, as a little girl who wants to be famous, and this guy's demanding sexual favors. When it gets to the point where she can't take it anymore, he goes, I'm shutting down your career. Right. And they took it to court, and the judge actually said, no, you can't release anything else. It's under the stipulations of your contract.
Right.
Blah, blah, blah. And they basically tanked her career for a good 2 years. Now, she's been fighting this pretty fiercely in court. And as you know, a lot of young performers don't have a lot of money yet because they give you. I've talked to record labels before, and the R&D guy, who are the ones who sign you, go, yeah, here's a piece of paper, write your own contract, and we're still going to get all your money. That's just the way they are.
It's like working in radio.
They're good. They're good. So she didn't have a lot of money, and so she's struggling. She's out of work.
Right.
And apparently Taylor Swift gave her $250,000 for her legal fees. And she checked in with her every week and went, how you doing? You okay? Don't go crazy on me. Don't go crazy.
Right.
And Kesha was fighting an eating disorder because, you couldn't be too fat if you're a singer. You have to be. And so she would. But, I mean, that kind of consistency for over a year and a half, giving someone $250,000 and checking in with them and making sure they're not crazy, that they're still hanging in there. That's pretty impressive. So you can read the whole story in Rolling Stone this week if you want to.
I think the guy should go to jail and prison.
Yeah, I would certainly think so too. But in any case, I like Taylor Swift again, even though you dissed Tom. But thank you for Kesha. I appreciate that.
Moana. We watch this a lot in our house because our daughter is like crazy.
You're welcome.
And the chicken, one of my favorite
I love that.
creatures.
Yeah.
So The Rock, Dwayne Johnson,
Who plays Maui, the demigod.
which he does really well.
I know, right?
And he sings.
He's a great singer.
And he is a good singer.
He's just unfairly talented. He really is.
The girth and the moving tattoos I thought were really cool. But he said...
Well, it's interesting. When they were going through the initial stages of drawing the characters, animating the characters, he said, I want you to model this after my grandfather.
What?
And he showed him this picture. This is Maui, of course.
Of course.
And I love the close-set eyes. I mean, they really did a great look of the Pacific Islanders. It was very appropriate, and I loved that. But he said, I'm giving you a picture of my granddad. I would like him to look like this. And this is the picture of his granddad.
Gosh.
Well, not that one.
Right.
The picture of his granddad will be coming. That one.
Oh, my gosh.
But see the tattoos and everything? And if you take a look at The Rock, of course, he's got that gigantic one over his shoulder and arm.
Yeah.
But he was a wrestler. And he said,
I had no idea.
He says, I want to be like my granddad. And so he modeled his character
that's
of
great.
Maui, the demigod, after his granddad.
That's actually really cool.
Isn't that adorable?
Yeah.
I thought that was really sweet.
So it's Erin's favorite time of year because it's Halloween. Well, actually, for her, Halloween started in early August.
I didn't actually hang anything up until mid-August.
Yeah, but you had it on the floor in the stacks. And so we thought we were showing some different scary things around the state. And we went down and we spent some time at the Fear Factory.
Oh, Spence is awesome. He was showing us all around and all the twisted stuff they've
Well,
got
let's just
going
take a
on.
look. Here we are.
So what do you think is the scariest, most visceral moment for people? I mean, is there one building or one spot in particular that people just lose it every time?
That's the beauty of this place, is there really isn't. So for people that are afraid of heights, you've got the catwalk above us, you've got the vampire manor that's here, you have clowns, you have an exit that's full of zombies and cannibals, you have a Jason silo, the list just goes on and on and on and on and on. There's so much here.
Can I ask you a question? Which is the way out?
There is no way out.
All right, so Erin just said I look scary with a beard.
You look like you should be burying weapons in the front yard. I didn't realize how scary you were until you shaved it.
You don't bury weapons in the front yard. Duh. But given the opportunity, and I know it's called the Fear Factory, but it is a joyous moment when you can push your wife off a 4-story building.
They have an epic zipline.
You guys have a great weekend. We'll see you Monday morning right here on the Todd and Erin Mornings Dream on GetPartDaily.com. We're pushing Erin off a building.
Whenever you're ready.
3, 2, 1. Oh my God, Lord Jesus! Oh my God! Oh my God! Oh my God! Oh my God! Ah, this is amazing! Oh God! And then you're all here again. The clowns. We're here again. Why the clowns? That is so cool. Except for you guys.
You were awesome.
That was so cool!
Give me a kiss.
That was the coolest